This is the Webster Insider.
Welcome to the Webster Insider. I'm Micah Barnes.
And I'm Josh Wright. Today, we get into the holiday spirit, tell you about some worthwhile destinations during break, and give you a preview of what winter has in store.
But first, unrest on campus. As the fall semester comes to a close, some Webster students are expressing their discontent with how the university made changes to a number of student privileges this school year. Webster Insider's Cas Waigand has more.
What do we want? Campus! What do we want?
Students chanted, held signs, and shared their grievances against Webster University at a protest on November 16th. Luke Adams, a member of the Webster Scientific Socialist Alliance, led the chants at the event. He said he is not affected by many of the issues students listed, but is friends with people who are.
If I have an issue with my friends, it's an issue with me too.
For Adams, Webster limiting the commuter meal plan stood out. He felt like the university should ensure students are fed.
Really upset me realizing that they were making students compete against each other for food.
At the start of the academic year, the commuter meal plan was limited to the first 125 students to apply. After backlash, the Gorlock Gazette released a message by Dean of Students John Buck, which stated that the university was aware of student concerns and read in part, "We will create a process inclusive of student leaders later this fall to discuss this as well as longer-term adjustments that will need to be made to the program in the future." Another student at the protest was Jessica Wright. She spoke about the cutting back of Metro passes when attendees were given the chance to voice personal concerns. 3 days later, the program was discontinued. Wright said the MetroPass program made her feel like Webster cared about commuters. The announcement, however, left her angry and disappointed.
I felt completely unimportant to Webster. I'm just like, oh, okay, wow.
The email did offer a link to emergency loans for students in financial need, but Wright said she takes out enough loans as it is to attend Webster. In the end, all Wright wants is transparency from the university.
As is, keeping us in the dark and just, taking away all of our benefits and resources and just leaving us to fend for ourselves. It feels like they don't care, and it feels like they're the villain.
In a prior interview with the Webster Journal, Buck said his door is open for students who want to come and discuss any concerns they have. Looking back at the protest, Adams described the atmosphere as empowering.
And you always hear people complaining about issues they're having with the university, but there's very little we can do about it as students. However, that day I felt that there was something we could do about it as students.
And organizers did not plan for November 16th to be a one-and-done event. Kieran Kessler hinted at more actions on their horizon, including a sit-in right here on November 30th. For the Webster Insider, I'm Cas Waigand. It's important to mention we tried for days to get an official response from university officials, including Communications Director Patrick Giblin and Dean of Students John Buck. Giblin deferred all comments to Buck, but Buck has yet to respond to our repeated requests for an interview. Back to you.
Thank you, Cas. In other news, a Webster student used her dancing feet to recently score a win at the regional Irish dance competition. Annika Wagner earned 4th place in the ladies under 19 category of the Mid-America Oireachtas competition, which took place in late November. Wagner said normally the contest is held over the Thanksgiving weekend, so she spends the holiday with her friends from the Clark Academy of Irish Dance. She estimates she's attended the Mid-America Oireachtas more than 10 times during her time in Irish dancing. She's hoping for another big win in April in Belfast for the World Championships.
Speaking of accomplishments beyond campus, a Webster art professor has his artwork currently on display at the Sheldon Art Gallery. Professor Tate Foley's exhibit, In Shadows, explores the idea of living in a simulation. He does this by printing his work onto Tyvek and then making bungee cords to attach them to frames that resemble huge erector sets. Some pieces are actually on the floor or wrapped around a column, defying the norm of work hung on a wall. In Shadows will be up until January 16th. Check the Sheldon's website for specific times.
An ancient form of Japanese art is getting its share of the spotlight, with 2 ongoing exhibits that demonstrate its historic and cultural value. Webster Insider's Claudio Cobos reports.
For centuries, Japanese artists have used woodblock printmaking to show the history and culture of Japan. 2 current exhibits, one at the St. Louis Art Museum and and at the Webster University Hunt Gallery are demonstrating how the essence and techniques of Japanese printmaking is being preserved. Felix Wu is the curator for the ongoing exhibition Modern Japanese Military Art at the St. Louis Art Museum. He explains how an ancient style of art can still influence a whole country.
Well, all of the objects that you see here are in fact conventional art formats in Japanese art. For example, folding screens, hanging scrolls, textiles, woodblock prints. These are all formats that exist already in the sort of inventory of Japanese art objects.
From the past to the present, Japanese printmaking can be also more contemporary, such as the artwork now on display at the Hunt Gallery.
The idea here is that a multiple is sent out into the world. It is its own kind of publication. And so just a kind of play on the phrase, publish or perish.
The Publish or Perish exhibition represents how globalization and digitalization have expanded an art technique that has been around for hundreds of years. Both exhibitions are presenting unique pieces of art from military victories to modern contemporary art. The Modern Japanese Military Art at the St. Louis Art Museum will be exhibiting there until April 10, 2022. And you can view Publish or Perish here at the Hunt Gallery on the campus of Webster University until January 14, 2022. Both of these exhibitions are free of charge. Now back to the studio. From Webster Insider, I'm Claudio Cobos.
For those of you who prefer post-impressionist artwork, you're in for a larger-than-life experience at Beyond Van Gogh. Art enthusiasts can immerse themselves in Vincent van Gogh's masterpieces with the Beyond Van Gogh exhibit, which has now been extended to run through January 30th. The exhibit at the St. Louis Galleria features more than 300 works by the beloved post-impressionist master. This particular exhibit has sold more than 2 million tickets globally, making it one of the most popular traveling exhibitions today. You can get information on hours of operation and reserve your tickets online at vangoghstlewis.com.
There certainly is no shortage of happenings around town this holiday season, but for many of us, the weather is a big factor in determining whether we can stay inside or out. The Webster Insider's McKaylah Bell is here to give us some interesting insights on St. Louis weather. McKaylah?
That's right, Josh. Tornadoes, snowstorms, and bright sunny skies can all happen within the span of 3 days in St. Louis. And this unpredictable weather can catch those not from here off guard.
Well, we get everything in St. Louis. The only thing you can say about St. Louis weather is you will not get a snowstorm in the summertime, and it won't hit 100 in winter.
News meteorologist Scott Connell explains that since we are in the middle of the Midwest, we will get all types of weather.
The way the weather network is, the sampling of all of that, it's, we have surface stations, but the upper level patterns are what drive it. So balloons are released twice a day, and they're spaced out much farther apart. So they're just early in the morning and early in the evening. Their systems can get here pretty quickly, and sometimes as they're getting here, before the models even know they're coming or know how strong they are, they're almost here.
Some international students can be caught off guard by this type of weather.
In Thailand, it's hot 24/7 for 12 months. In Nepal, it's actually pretty chill. It's cold in winter and then hot in the summers. It does not, I'm from the city, so it does not snow in the city, but around the mountain areas, there are mountains in Nepal, by the way, guys. So around the mountain areas, it's pretty cold. I was not actually aware of how cold it could get. Plus, I've not spent winters at all for the past 2 years, so I'm really not good with the cold. I just have 2 down puffer jackets, and that's my preparation for the winter.
Others who come from colder regions were already prepared for this type of weather.
I'm from Russia. It depends on where in Russia you are. Like the Moscow, it's kind of same. But I was born in the north of Russia, and now it's like -20 in there. It's kind of different, like it changes every day, every hour. I'm not used to it.
Last year and again this year, the temperatures are below average in the equatorial Pacific, and that's a La Nina. And so that tends to hold the jet stream a little farther north. It tends to limit how much cold air we see. It looks like this year the worst of those cold outbreaks would tend to be north and east of us.
For the Webster Insider, this is McKaylah Bell.
Finally, the spirit of the season is all around us.
And if you love bright, twinkling lights and everything else that reminds you of the holidays, we have a sneak peek of some of the most festive displays around town. From large attractions to small shops, the holiday season brings dazzling lights displays you can appreciate all season long. At the Missouri Botanical Garden, you can walk through nature and admire Garden Glow. With over 1 million lights and 30 installations, Garden Glow is a grand experience. Throughout the walk, you can enjoy festive snacks and drinks, amazing photo opportunities, and of course, beautiful light shows synced to music. I spoke with the garden's public information officer, Catherine Martin, about how Garden Glow became so popular.
It started as just an opportunity for people to enjoy the garden in winter. A lot of people love to come here in spring, summer, fall, those warmer months. And there's something magical about the garden in winter at night with all these lights. You're walking through it, you're really experiencing it, engaging with it. And I think people just love feeling that holiday magic here, and they come back year after year.
Favorite stops at Garden Glow include the light tunnel, a giant snow globe, and the new springtime display with 3-foot-tall lilies. Another highly popular light display is at Grant's Farm, where you can drive through a series of attractions, complete with lights, live animals, and a chance encounter with Santa himself. Even small local businesses are big on holiday spirit. At Rendition Salon in Webster Groves, it's the stories that make this season so special. But that didn't stop owner Ren Bender and a few helpers he calls elves from going all out on the holiday decor. At every corner, you'll find various holiday ornaments, as well as an expansive Christmas village and several full-size trees that have different themes.
The whole thing means so much to so many people. You know, they just love coming in here and seeing all the decorations, and they'll come in and they'll bring other people with them, and just walk around and enjoy all of it. That's what it's all about. That's my favorite thing, is that it brings joy to so many people.
Rendition Salon will be decked out for the rest of the month. The shop is located in the General Grant Plaza on Watson Road if you'd like to stop in for a visit. As for Garden Glow at the Missouri Botanical Garden, the display runs through January 8th with ticket prices ranging from $3 to $20. The Grant's Farm Light display is from now until January 2nd, with prices per carload beginning at $39. Either way, reservations are recommended, and you can make them online at each destination's respective websites.
And that is it for this edition of the Webster Insider. I'm Micah Barnes.
And I'm Josh Wright. Thank you for joining us, and have a wonderful holiday season.